Stan Zaslavsky from Eagle Vision, and really excited to bring to you Scott Banks here again. Scott is a principal of Scott Banks Real Estate. They've been very experienced with property development since the 1990s and marketing property, project marketing and development sites. I really wanted to catch up with Scott and have a chat about the state of the current market.
Hi Stan, nice to see you again. Look, it's been a fantastic market, Stan. I mean, we've seen some record results achieved this year. I mean, there's a property in Glen Waverley that was sold earlier in the year for about 4.71 million in Marriott Parade. That just resold a few months later for 6 million, around a 1,500 square metre site. I mean, $6 million in Glen Waverley, unheard of. There was a record achieved in Richmond recently of a $5.1 million sale in Lennox Street. The previous record in Richmond was around 4.1. The list goes on, and obviously we've got Australia 108, which the record price in a year of $25 million, around $33,000 a square metre, like just unheard of. So the backdrop of our market is amazing, best market I've seen in 30 years in the business. The future, I mean, obviously that's what everyone asks me. What people ask you is how do we see it? I mean, there are basically 3 different areas that we work in. We obviously work with our local buyers, we work with our interstate buyers, and we work with our overseas buyers that predominantly are coming from China. Right. So developers moving forward, if they're planning their future pipeline for the next sort of 2, 3, 5 years, I think personally the safest place for them to be is in that owner-occupied market, our local market, where the baby boomers are selling their larger parcels and moving down. And there is a shortage of quality apartments for these people to move to. So there's a lot of the 2 bedrooms, single bedrooms, that are built in that sort of 40 to 65 square metre range, but that really doesn't suit those local buyers. So I think the future in that space is undersupplied, and I think that that's a space that I'd certainly be encouraging your clients to sort of look at seriously.
Definitely. And what about, I guess, development sites? How are they sitting going forward in the same space?
Well, development sites once again have been very hotly contested. I mean, there's one just sold recently in Wattletree Road in Armidale where the agent was quoting at 1.6 plus. My local buyers were sort of thinking it was probably worth in the early 2s, and it sold for $3 million. And that's a site you can probably no permit, you can probably get 10 apartments on. So as people do the math on that, it's be difficult to sort of make any sense at this point in time. But we are seeing that in the market where sites are really hotly contested. So look, I think there'll be an adjustment on that moving forward.
And so whilst I guess the local buyers, they have an idea in terms of what they could plan for, is there any prediction to what the international guys are doing?
The international guys are really unknown. I mean, we know what they're doing at the moment. They're throwing lots of money at us. I spoke to a client only yesterday that bought an apartment off the plan in the city. He said to me on the phone yesterday, I bought this property from Glossy Brochures in Singapore. Right. He said, we've come over here and it's not exactly what we thought it was going to be, and they've basically sold it and they've rebought, and another in Prima Pearl, actually they bought one in Prima Pearl. So because that's more like what they wanted for an owner-occupier sort of thing. But Stan, it's hard to know. I mean, the Chinese are a massive driver in our market at the moment. If the Chinese government decide overnight to turn off the tap of the finance coming and the money coming to Australia, it's going to be very difficult for us to support what's currently going on. And it's a dictatorial society. They can change. I mean, their main concern is supporting their own economy. So they're not worried about us, they're worried about themselves. So if they woke up one morning and said, look, we're not sending any more money out of the country, we're stopping that for 6 months, or it'll really affect our market. Now, will that happen or not? I don't know. I mean, there's well over 1 billion of them, so there's plenty of them.
That's right.
But their government really controls the purse strings over there.
Very good. Look forward to seeing you again next time around. Thank you so much, Scott, for your insights.
That's all right. Great to see you again, Stan. Thanks very much.